Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Grown folk, children, and babies. I am so happy that you are here. I am CallMeNakomi, and welcome back to CallMeNakomi World, my podcast dedicated to basically everything I find interesting. I mean, it might sound selfish or whatever, basically, but I like to talk about things that I know about, of course, and things that I've learned, because you pick up things as you go along. Every single day you learn some more, as we all do. So I am so glad to be back here just talking about the things that I know, things that I think, how I feel. And I hope that you're here to hear those things, and I hope you appreciate it. I hope I'm an artist, so I'm real sensitive about my shit. So anyway, back to the task at hand. I've learned a lot over my middle-aged years of life, basically. So I hope that you are here and you feel good. You are going for your goals. You are focused on your dreams, and just like I am, you're going for it. So here we go. I hope that you are cool. I hope that you can find me on podcasts and on YouTube. That is CallMeNakomi World on YouTube, and CallMeNakomi at Instagram, or CallMeNakomi1 on Twitter, or X if you basically feel like it. Also, you can email me at CallMeNakomi@gmail.com. So once we got all that off the way, thank you so much again for being here. We're going to talk about a couple of topics today. The first one I got up, the Beyonce concert. Man, so I got to go to this Beyonce concert that they had down here in Atlanta. I got my life, period. It was my second Beyonce concert. It was my wife's fourth Beyonce concert. She's been a lifelong fan forever. Virgos love Virgos. So she's a Virgo, and of course Beyonce's a Virgo. So she is here to support the Virgo way in all ways possible. But like I said, we both got our lives going there. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the concert, give it a little bit of opinions and stuff like that, It was the most fun I've had in a really long time. It basically, it was a great, it was a great order of songs, basically song selections that she had in the concert. It was about 85% Renaissance and about 15% her classic albums, hits and remixes and different things like that. Personally, I think that only Janet Jackson could even come near to basically doing the verses. Of course, everybody thinks the verses when they come across great artists like Beyonce. And the one question that always gets asked, it definitely got asked that night at the concert, who could actually do a verses with this chick? She had song after song after songs after song, and she just did the Renaissance album for real, and maybe just touched on a couple songs here and there, you know what I'm saying? It was amazing. And I was like, yo, only Janet Jackson could do this, basically. And of course, that was kind of a little bit, rattling in my head because I was listening to the Essential Janet Jackson, on Apple Music. So I was just like, yeah, Janet Jackson got hits too, but I don't even know which one will win. Y'all go ahead and email me, callmenakomi@gmail.com, or drop a message in this YouTube channel, or let me know basically in the comments. If you're listening to me on podcasts, please go ahead and review, drop me some stars, please. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you in advance. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think. If you think that Janet basically would be a good matchup for Beyonce in the verses, or if you got somebody else that basically we not thinking about yet, go ahead and let me know. But of course, Janet, of course, was basically, to me, a precursor to Beyonce. Basically, of course, it's been great, artists over the years, whatever like that, the Anita Bakers and the Whitney Houstons and so on and so forth, basically. But I feel like Janet Jackson in the pop era, basically relating also to hip hop, R&B, soul. I think that basically Janet Jackson had to run so that Beyonce could fly. Janet Jackson basically was that pinnacle until they caught her with that little Super Bowl thing, basically, and then she took a dip. And I don't know what y'all talking about as far as any type of conspiracy theories, but at the same time, Beyonce did take off. I'm not saying that anything had to happen, but at the same time, sometimes it works out like that in the entertainment industry, where it's a vacuum that basically gets created by one artist, and so another artist basically kind of doesn't get to reach their pinnacle because it's such a vacuum by another artist, basically. But either way, Janet Jackson's still someone that we absolutely love. I don't know how in the hell I let that concert pass me by when she came to Atlanta the other day, but hopefully I get a chance to catch her again. The question to me though is, how much would you pay for a good time? That's my question for y'all today. How much would you pay for a good time? I mean, I've been to several concerts for free, and that's been, of course, amazing. It's always a good time when you get to see real good artists, in concerts, and even better when it's free 99, of course. But I've been to Summer Jam. I've been to a Beanie Man concert with my brother one time. He hit me up. I got Beanie Man concerts. It was right around the time when Beanie Man the Doctor dropped, so I was there, of course. I went to the Lil Bow Wow concert and the hookup for my brother. Basically, when he was there with B2K, the little girls caught it was just like hormones being passed out around that whole entire place. The place was live. And also went to more recently, I went to the 444 concert with my sister. Had a great time also. It's always a great time, basically, when you go to a concert. And hopefully it ends up being a good experience, for you. But I will say this. As much as I love Jay-Z, though, I probably wouldn't pay the kind of prices that we paid for the Beyonce concerts. And I mean, he's one of my top three dead alive, period. But at the same time, that kind of price to see a Jay-Z album, it's different. It's different. Rap is different. You know what I'm saying? Rap is like, the words, and everybody knows the words, and he damn near can just chill back and sit back while everybody basically just recites all the words for him. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. And the same thing can happen with Beyonce, but you go for more than just basically to hear them say the words or sing the words. You know what I'm saying? You go, we're talking about entertainment. You go for the costumes, the choreography, you go for the songs, you go for the catalog. And that's why I'm saying it takes a really, really, really big star for you to decide to start shelling out money. You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother level. And that's basically the kind of level where you basically would put a Beyonce concert, because you're going to go and you're going to get all those things, plus some stuff you didn't even realize. Great dancers, great choreography, amazing stuff. You know what I mean? So, but how much would that experience be worth to you? You know what I'm saying? That's the question. If you're saying no, it isn't for you, no problem. That's fine. Understandable. You know the prices. You probably looked on the Ticketmaster on the low, even though you probably said you wasn't going to go, just to see what it's looking like. You know what I'm saying? Or you just saw it on social media to realize, oh, wow, that's what they're talking about. Okay. But it's cool. No one's begging you to know how much you want to spend your money on, to see something that you care about. But all I ask is that you don't worry about how much I spend. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to criticize someone because they decided to basically spend their hard-earned money on something that they really want to spend their money on. So, some people need to fall back on that a little bit, basically. I get it. You trying to, preach, to live within your means. And that's, of course, that's something that you should do. You should definitely live within your means. But at the same time, it's not like I'm dropping that every single day. You know what I mean? So, my first Beyonce concert, it was several years ago. It was basically the On the Run 2 tour. And me and my wife, we spent about, I think it was about $400 a ticket, or, I don't think it was two. It definitely wasn't 2 tickets for $400. It was like $400 a ticket. It was a decent area, you know what I'm saying? But it still was a little bit up. It was still not as close to the stage as you would like to be, because it was in an arena, you know what I mean? So basically it's but so close you could really be to the field, So, but at the same time, we still got our life. It was still great, still awesome, The cost felt hefty at the time, but it just so happened that it was my wife's birthday. You know what I'm saying? It was around her birthday. It just works out that it's always in Atlanta around her birthday month. So boom, Virgo's got to do what a Virgo's got to do. And, and of course, she was going regardless. Whether I was going to come with her or not, she was going to go regardless. So I basically had to put up and shut up, put up or shut up, and basically take that ride with my wife because I wasn't going to let her go by herself. Plus, I love Beyonce. I've been following her since the Destiny's Child days. So who hasn't? You know what I'm saying? So for a chance to see those special artists, I mean, right now in my age, I'm like 43. So basically right now, I'm just thinking about all those artists I never got a chance to see. I never got a chance to see Mike. I never got Michael Jackson, of course. I never got a chance to see Big. I never got a chance to see Whitney. You know what I'm saying? I never got a chance to see Earth, Wind, and Fire when the lead singer was there. Those are the kind of things that I don't know. I wish I would have put more of a more urgency to see things like that. You know, instead of basically just spending my money on whatever. I could mention several things that were in my head that I spend my money on, and I could have basically pulled that money and went and see Earth, Wind, and Fire, or went and seen Frankie Beverly's and Maze, went and seen Anita Baker. You know what I mean? And she's still here. So thank goodness there's a lot of these artists that are still around, and we're still able to go see them. But go and see them before they're gone. That's all I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? You know. But, you know, we still had a blast, you know, so, you know, for this one, of course, basically, they came to Atlanta again during my wife's birthday month, born in August, you know what I mean? So, and I'm a huge fan of the Renaissance album. I mean, it puts the battery on my back every single time I go to my workout. So when I say I feel like I'm dragging ass and I don't really feel like doing a workout, I put that Renaissance on. I'm on for a good hour. At the very least, it can't stop me. You know what I'm saying? I just go ahead and put that joint on loop, and when it hits the back, it comes back to the front. It's one of those great albums where you can basically listen to the whole entire thing front to back. It's not a lot of albums that I could say that I enjoyed like that. You know what I mean? And this was definitely one of them. So definitely Renaissance, worth the money. To me personally, worth the money. Absolutely. You know, but these seats were a little bit more. The same seats that cost us $400 back in the day cost us $600. You know what I'm saying? It was the same seats. So we were just like, it did give us pause. Definitely gave us pause. But we were going to do everything we could do to go if we could. You know what I mean? The full price was definitely like, okay, let's pause and be responsible adults. We got a child to take care of, a mortgage, you know what I mean? We got some things to really, really consider. But at the same time, we were going to do what we could. We got ourselves on a waiting list. We definitely, we registered mad early. We were waiting all the way to the end, trying to figure out what was going on. But, you know, we considered full price. We wasn't really, I don't, at least at the end, I was just like, full price. I'll eat it if I got to, or my wife will go if she had to by herself. And I wasn't going to let her go by herself if I didn't need to. But, you know, it just so happened to work out, you know, that her brother ended up being able to bless her with some tickets, you know, so it made it able for me and her to basically go and go see the concert, you know, together. So that was absolutely awesome. Then on top of it, they basically had 2 other tickets that her brother and her sister was able to surprise her at the concert. We had a ball. It was absolutely amazing. You know, and then come to find out, they was actually selling some tickets on the day of those days. You could get a ticket for $91. So for all the people who basically was just like, oh my God, I can't believe you're spending that kind of money on tickets. Relax and chill out. It wasn't all a money grab. You got to do what you got to do. There's a specific price range for certain artists. I'm sure Michael Jackson wasn't going on stage for no $20 per seat. Even in Bucharest, I don't give a damn. I'm sure he wasn't doing nothing like that, basically. So at least everyone had that chance if they basically found it and found those tickets, and they was definitely going. The train that we took to that spot, because we took a train because we wasn't going to park last time. Last time we went to the Mercedes-Benz Dome. Girl, it took us about 2 hours just to get damn near back to our car where we parked our car. It was crazy, absolutely. So, you know, but like I say again, how much would you spend, you know, for a concert, you know, for all the, you know, not me's and all that? I get you. And, you know, no one's begging you to know what you spend, you know, but it is what it is, you know? And, I honestly felt like there was a lot of hate out there too. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just basically about the money. There's a lot of people out there, even now today, people still basically talking shit about Beyonce. And I'm just like, are y'all really that kind of conspiracy theory kind of people? Or is it basically other people influencing you to think that you can't go to a Beyonce concert and just enjoy it? You know what I'm saying? I find, and I mean, hey, I'm speaking my opinion. These are my opinions, my truths, and from what I've seen and what I've heard from people. I feel like a lot of that hate is coming from the church. And I try to figure out why. You know what I'm saying? Why exactly are a lot of church folk basically boycotting Beyonce? Tell me why. I really would like to know. Drop it in the comment if you feel like it. I really would appreciate it, and we will definitely have a conversation about it. You know what I'm saying? Amicable discourse. That's basically what this world is about, and what it should be about. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. Let's really try to figure it out. But I'm trying to figure out exactly why is it that so many people are basically just so against it. You know, is it the lyrics? Is it because she basically is not afraid to show her body? I mean, obviously she ain't going out there butt naked, but at the same time, I mean, she's doing what she wants to do. She has the right to do and to show what she wants to write, what she wants to show. You know what I'm saying? So why what's the issue? Is it because the collection plate came back a little light during those concert months? I mean, let me know, basically. I mean, if it was, I mean, shoot, that's not her fault, basically, you know. There's, if that's not it, let me know what it is. I mean, why is it that a woman that stands for women empowerment and independence is being boycotted by institutions like the church? That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? She preaches to those women, to grind, to do what to go for their goals, you know what I'm saying? And go for the top of their careers and to be the best that they can be. And also, treating themselves to a little reward for all their hard work. Why are we basically storing and away all these, all our shekels for what? For what? We can't be buried with it. Why not basically enjoy ourselves while we're here? That's basically all I think about. You know what I'm saying? You can't take it with you. And all you're going to do is spend it on some other bullshit. Little things here, $20 here, $50 there, $75. Go on Amazon, drop $120. You could basically save up all those shekels and go to a Beyonce concert and get a once in a lifetime experience. Or you could buy something that you basically going to forget you even have in about 2 months. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm only trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? If I worked hard and I got my money and I could actually afford it without basically being homeless the day after, then why can't I enjoy the fruits of my labor? I'm not asking for a friend. I'm asking for myself. Please let me know. They call her work, and her concerts and her imagery demonic. And I'm like, y'all doing too much. Y'all reading too much into it, basically. I get it. I personally didn't leave that concert with anything more, no embedded words in my head or nothing like that. I didn't leave it with nothing more than a brand new, renewed respect for Beyonce. That's all I did. She works hard. She does what she had to do. She put her daughter on. The girl got money already, basically. She's learning the business that her mother and father basically grew up in. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to be fine herself. She's going to understand and grow and find her own niche in this world. And people are basically hating on it for that. You know what I'm saying? All I can say is that she's a bad motherfucker. And she can do whatever the hell she wants. And she don't answer to y'all for it. So find your own lane and stay out of hers. There's only semis on that lane. You get run over if you step in that lane. Plain and simple. I just don't know how it threatens people. So if it does, you have an issue. I hope that it's basically just, hey, I love Beyonce, just couldn't afford it. No doubt. I know people right now who still hasn't even listened to the Renaissance album, and I'm just trying to find out what? How, Sway? Please tell me that this is not because of some kind of propaganda, conspiracy theory, or, clickbait that you done saw on Facebook that said, that's why, because this, that, and the third, and they doing sacrifices. I need you to basically get a new script. Get a new script to read off of. You know what I'm saying? It's really old, and right now all you're doing is being a sheep. That's all I got to say. Get your own opinion. Tell me if you basically wake up the next morning about to basically draw a pentagram on your head and put crosses upside down and do some other kind of crazy stuff that you wasn't going to do the day before because you listened to a Beyonce album or went to a concert. No. Please stop being sheep. Anyway, women out there, we need more strong women who are unafraid of their strength and celebrate each other and our differences and everyone's differences. You know what I'm saying? But if you feel like you don't want to, I need you to check your toxic masculinity or the sources of toxic masculinity in your life. That's what I need you to do. You know what I'm saying? Know your worth, ladies out there. Don't listen to nobody. Know your worth. You know what I'm saying? And go out there and never forget it. Period. All right. So that was the first topic. Hope you guys basically have something, to chime in on. Hit me up in the comments if you have it. Also, my next topic then. I don't know if you can see this. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills. This is from something that I absolutely love. You know what I'm saying? It's my next topic. It basically is about something that has been a part of my life for a long time. It's a work of art. In the truest sense of the form, it's a work of art. And it shows me something every time that I read it, basically. Every single time. And trust me, I have read it several times over. I mean, I have the audiobooks too, so I listen to it tens of times, plain and simple. I've easily, way too many times I've listened to this book series. Every single time I love it. Sometimes it has affected me emotionally. I've connected to it emotionally, and I just absolutely love this series. It's the widely successful book series, The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I'm not sure if you guys have heard it yet, or you probably have if you basically have listened to anything I've basically talked about before. It's a book series. It is 14 books long and sounds very, very long, basically, because it is. But at the same time, it is crazy how when you basically start to read it, you might not know exactly what it's about, but the more you get into it, the more you are invested in this struggle, because it is basically a struggle for humanity. For us to learn from our mistakes in our past and realize that we need each other to survive. And that's pretty much what it all comes down to, I think, is that to me is the over-encompassing topic of the plot of the story. Basically, it's bringing people together so that we can survive and have a fighting chance. Now, let me give a spoiler warning just in case, basically, people are wondering, what's coming up. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm just going to basically be giving, surface details about the books and, some parts of the series, the TV series, from the season 1, basically. Just basically going to be talking about my favorite parts from the series, not a whole bunch of them, not how it ends. Of course, not the plot of the books or how it ends, basically, but I'm going to be giving some surface level things, basically. Just definitely, I don't feel like it's spoiling anybody who hasn't read the books yet, or who have not, who have seen season 1 or who have not seen season 1. I think it's still going to be very, very viewable for you guys, even hearing this review that I'm basically going to be doing. So you have been warned. Don't act like I didn't. So basically, we in the fandom have been patiently waiting, hoping that we did not wait in vain for someone to bring that story to life. It's a great, great story. Like I said, it's definitely worth the 15 book read. It's 14 books as a series, and there's a prequel that they basically drop somewhere in the middle. We prayed to the creator, and that's creator with a capital C, that someone would basically bring this book series to life and bring it to the screen, not silver screen, LCD screen, LED screen rather, basically, and give us even more visual joy to go along with the writings, basically. So sooner or later, thank goodness, we got the answer. Our prayers were answered by Rafe Judkins, the showrunner, who is a fan also of the series. And he came down from the mountain carrying the stone tablets of season 1 written and it was picked up by Amazon Prime. So the first season and second season, which is coming out September 1st, is coming out. So coming again. So he came down and Amazon basically picked it up, and it was a great adaptation of a book series. You have adaptations and sometimes it's hit and miss or whatever like that, but I feel like this was definitely good, even though he already gave us some disclaimers from the beginning, basically saying that it wasn't going to be the exact series. Of course, you got to change some things for adaptations, but it's just another turning of the wheel. But it basically had all of the main bits. You know what I mean? That's what you need. The main bits to define exactly what it is. It can't look like a kangaroo and then basically call it an elephant. It was an elephant. It might have just been from a different continent. So, we basically enjoyed it, of course. We all enjoyed it. The book series itself, let me just tell you a little bit about it. It's about basically 5 village 20-somethings that are very, very secluded. Rand, Perrin, Matt, Egwene, and Nynaeve are the main characters, and they're living in a very secluded, part of the country until next thing you know, basically something comes and forces them to leave their home for a very, very long adventure, and that's exactly what happens. And what's at stake? The fate of the world, of course. What's better to gamble for than the fate of the world? You know what I mean? So they face the Dark One himself, and give humanity basically a fighting chance in the last battle to, just a chance to see the next age. And that's all we're basically all looking for. I don't want to say too much, of course. It'll give away, if I, give anything more, it'll basically give away little pieces. And all of that should definitely be, spoiler free if you're going to decide to read the books. I really, really encourage you guys to do so. I've been trying to encourage people basically to read the Wheel of Time for like 10 years now. I've been reading it, but sooner or later someone's going to find it. First book, Eye of the World. Go ahead and just pick it up. If if it catches you from the first book, great. If it doesn't, it's okay. Try to read another book and see how far you get. It definitely, trust me. If it got me, and I'm gonna say that I have good taste. Hopefully, it'll get you. Go ahead and give it a chance. It came out in 1990. It was the first book when the first book dropped. But it's full of adventure, and it's a little dated, but it's full of adventure and intrigue. As far as it dated, when I say dated, I mean as far as like social aspects of the world. It might be a little dated as far as different things, but at the same time it's full of adventure and intrigue, fantasies and battles and wars, and you sprinkle in a little bit of romance and comedy, and you have an amazing book. And to top it off, it is the best magic system that I have ever read. And I mean, I was a fan of Game of Thrones, basically, and other things. Definitely Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. All those different series, basically, and they all have some type of magic system in it. But to me, this is the best magic system, most defined magic system. Something you can actually see. It's tangible. You know what I mean? Not everybody can use it, basically, but it is an amazing thing. And to finally see it come to life in the series, great. This is a great thing to see. I'm telling you right now. The world building is amazing. It has to deal with time. So, thinking of time as an endless circle, a wheel, basically the wheel of time, basically. So, does the stuff that's happening, does it happen before our current time, or does it happen after our current time, or does it happen way, 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 way further and ahead of our current time? That's basically what you guys need to read and find out. It's an amazing thing. And so since it has that concept of time, the world building around it is great. So many different countries, people, different power structures and societies and so many different things basically that layer on top of it. So It's a great read. Absolutely. It's powerful and meaningful and exciting. And that's basically why I love it every single time I read it. And I pray that one day you guys will find your way to it also. So to talk a little bit about the show, to give my favorite moments from the show, I was going to basically give a full season 1 review, but it was too much to basically pack into one episode. You know what I mean? I was going to basically have like a whole thing with a conversation with Nakomi, and I'm CallMeNakomi as I am CallMeNakomi. I was going to have a conversation with Nakomi, who is a character from the book series. If you read it, you'll have to read it for a while to find out who that character is. But I was going to do this whole entire thing. But I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and tell you guys what my favorite parts are. And in future videos, I will definitely be reviewing episodes 1 through 8 of the first season. And also when the season starts, I'm going to definitely be giving you my reactions to episodes. I'm not exactly sure how many episodes we're getting this season, but come September 1st, we will find out what the first episode of season 2 is going to be about. And I will definitely be reviewing it week by week. Pray for me, guys. So, like I said, Amazon Prime has a show. Of course, they have stars in it. Rosamund Pike, first person that signed up. She got executive producer rights. That just shows you that she really believes in this project. So it just basically set it up like bowling pins, basically, for them to knock it out. She plays Moraine Aes Sedai, and her warder Lan is played by Daniel Henney. You've seen him in several movies. And of course, they came with an amazing cast of, to me, newcomers. They've been in different things here and there, you know what I mean? But they're definitely not big names, and at least until now. And I really appreciate that, because when you have young characters from a book series that you're basically introducing to the world, it is better to just go with newcomers rather than basically well-known stars trying to play down their age and stuff like that. Let's go with some new stars and just hope that basically, they have great acting chops. And these people definitely have great acting chops. I mean, trust me, I wouldn't be here basically if it wasn't for the fact that I really believe in this book series and I believe in this project, and I feel like they could just the only thing they could do is get better. That's all they could do. And it definitely was great as is. The young actors, Rand is played by Yosha Stradowski. Sorry if I basically murder any of these names, but deal with it and bear with me. Perrin is going to be played by Marcus Rutherford. Matt was played by Barney Harris in season 1, but things happened and he basically had to be recasted for season 2. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Anyway, Egwene was played by Madeline Madden, and Nynaeve was played by Zoe Robbins. That's who plays Nynaeve. That's the main cast for the series. But there's some other great actors that basically are sprinkled into the whole entire show. I'm going to basically review my favorite parts that happened. Basically, yeah. So right from the front, right from the beginning, they have key moments that they basically have to have. There's some key moments in the whole entire series that you have to have, but of course they had to have certain key moments that you had to have to really solidify and ground and root itself into the book series, of course. So the sets were brilliant, and of course, they basically had Ebonsfield and they had Sadar Logoth. Great sets, amazing. It looked perfect the way that basically it was, exactly what you would assume it looked like from the descriptions in the book. And Lord knows the book is very descriptive. They introduced all the main characters with great pace. You know what I mean? Basically, it was the first episode. You pretty much knew the lay of the land, and because it's a pretty hefty book, it's actually back there somewhere on my shelf basically, but they had to cram all that into 8 episodes, so they did what they could, but they did it with as best pace as they could possibly do. They were great though. Winter's Night happened, first episode, and of course that was epic. You had to see it. It made sense that it had to happen in the first episode. Some people basically will be like, can you stretch it out? It's something it's a chase. So you got to keep it going. So I'm not mad at it at all. We got to see the magic system on display immediately, in the episode. So it basically is shown with ripples of air forming the weaves. So Raffo, read and find out, or Waffo, watch and find out. And find that, and you'll get to see exactly what we're talking about. Of course, you could not have the Trollocs and fades basically in there, and they looked great. The effects were great, the special effects, and the costuming was absolutely amazing. Their escape from Shadow Logoth was epic. How they all basically got out of the city. The effects on point, absolutely. Nynaeve's return was amazing. Absolutely. Legendary escape from the Trollocs. Wakes up being dragged by her hair, and she has to go platoon style, rising up out the water. And it is what it is, basically. She takes care of business with the hair flip. And trust me, I understand with long hair, sometimes you got to get that girl out the way. So I understand, absolutely. And when I say the actor that played Matt, Barney Harris, man, I wish he was there. He was going to be there for the whole entire series, but things happen. There was a, situation basically between him and basically the show. So basically he stepped away, and I understand completely. That's absolutely his choice. He did what's best for him in his life. But Barney, you were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You completely encompassed exactly what Matt Cawthon was going to be and what he was, and I think you were going to bring great layers to him and his personality. But it's okay. I hope you go on to great things, in your future. But you did a great job on playing Matt, and I'm glad that you had to go. But do what you got to do. But next season, it is being Matt's role is going to be played by Donald Finn, another great actor. I saw him in a couple of things, basically here and there. He was on The Witcher, just a small part, but at the same time, I'm glad that they were small. It was, unknown actors or slightly known actors are playing these roles. So I'm sure he'll do a great job. Zoe Robbins, who plays Nynaeve, she absolutely was Nynaeve. She was perfect for Nynaeve. Every single thing that she basically was doing was right up the alleyway of what Nynaeve would do. So she did a great job. Great job, Zoe. And those are my two favorite characters, Nynaeve and Matt, or Matt and Nynaeve in that order, rather. Anyway, the dream sequences were perfectly horrific. This series is like, it's sci-fi, it's science fiction, fantasy, and horror beautifully blended into each other, basically. That's exactly what it is. And I would love for my daughter to read this book series, but I definitely don't think she's ready at 9 years old. So it's coming sooner or later, hopefully. But at the same time, chef's kiss on the horrific dream scenes that they showed. We also get to meet Tom Maryland, who was played by Alexandra Wilhelm. Sorry for the name. And it was a nice surprise, basically, with the music that they played. They had some folky kind of music in the books, basically, but they put a little modern twist to these songs, basically. So I really, really loved it. It was a great little touch. And of course, dark friends chasing them. You don't know who's a dark friend. Everybody's a dark friend. I'm a dark friend. Watch out. And basically, it was a little different, where they're basically saying that there are 5 possible Dragon Reborns. And I was just like, 5? But okay. Rafe basically already warned us that there was going to be another turning of the wheel. So I'm going to basically just chill with it, because at least obviously they chose the right one. But as I always expected or suspected, or I basically always believed, there are 5 Ta'veren. And so they confirmed that. So, bam, glad about it. Anyway, the Aes Sedai basically captured Logain, and Logain is played by Alvaro Morte. Hopefully I got that okay. And you get to see the male channeling also, basically. So that was a great thing. It was like they twisted a little bit of black into the threads. So I like that effect that they basically added it to it, just to let it look as though there was something in the mix that was bad. So I like that. That was a good little touch. We also get a little tiny introduction to Brigida Superbo as a doll, keeping the girl safe, basically. She is the hero of the Horn Barbie, and I would wish that she was available. You know what? Barbie, go ahead and do that. I am buying several. Go ahead and do that. I want the Matt Ken, please. And I want the Rand Ken. That's awesome. Besides, of course, Nynaeve. And I'll take a Swan Sanche. And I will definitely take a Moraine with that outfit. The costumes were beautiful in this show. The sets were amazing in this show. Forget a Barbie house. I will take a Hall of the Tower, please. And thank you. Basically, Nynaeve going ahead and healing everybody in the cave. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but it was an absolute surprise. And I kind of thought it was amazing with her, basically her hair up in the sky, basically just shooting out from her, the power coming out of her. It was amazing. We also get a beautiful view of the White Tower and Dragon Mount sitting right next to it. It was just a great view. I can't wait to see all the other times that they basically come back to it. And also, you get a little new things that they basically mixed in. They have of course, the set things that happened during the series, but they also added some things also. And you get to see, a ceremony of what happens when a water's Aes Sedai dies. So you get to basically see them all experience that. And I thought that was very interesting and a nice little curveball to basically throw in into the mix. And of course, we made our favorite mythical creature from the show. It is Loyal, the Ogier, not Ogre, Ogier, and he is played by Ahmed Animashan. I hope I got that, Ahmed. And of course, the Amerlin seat herself, Swan Sanche, who is played by Sophie Okonides. Damn, I probably wrecked that. Trust me. By next episode, I'll have it right. Sorry about that, Sophie. But you did an amazing job. Yes, queens everywhere. Absolutely love it. Anyway, and of course, we got a shot of the blood snow. That's all I'm going to say. An absolute epic fight. Epic fight. Especially when you find out what's going on, really, when you find out what's going on. All I got to say is never underestimate a pregnant woman. Period. She will run through a wall if she needs to protect her child. That's all I'm going to say. And the one and only seer, Min Farshaw, played by Kai Alexander. You've seen her in other shows. I can't exactly off the top of my head remember them, but go ahead and look her up. Kai Alexander. She plays a seer in the show, and that's all I'm going to say for right now because I don't want to mess it up for you guys. Basically, I hope that I'm letting you guys hear a little bit, so you just decide to go, all right, fine. I ain't got nothing. I done went to the end of Netflix and back. Let me go ahead and open up this Prime and see what this Wheel of Time do. Go ahead and see what that Wheel of Time do, girl. Anyway, and a view of the Age of Legends, which basically you don't exactly see early in the books, but you got to see. And I'm not gonna front. It kind of looks like Wakanda. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. So maybe, you know what I mean? It's recency bias or whatever, basically. But it kind of looked like Wakanda. Argue with me on that. Go ahead. Drop it in the comment section. Then also, to cap it all off, we have our favorite slavers, the Shanchan, killing children on day one. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta have a bad guy. Everybody loves the bad guy. Not this bad guy though. They're kind of the worst. But anyway, I wish they gave us another episode or two, basically, so they could have slowed the pace down just a tad, basically. But I completely understand what they did, what they had to do, and they did their best with what they had. You know what I mean? So great storytelling, guys. I commend you for your job on this season, and I'm looking forward to the next season, basically, to see what you guys have. But it pretty much completely told you the story of Eye of the World, with little twists and turns here and there. So either pick up the book Eye of the World, that's the first book of the Wheel of Time series, or watch the Wheel of Time series on Amazon Prime. Either way, you guys should enjoy it. And right now, you can basically go ahead and binge the first season and get ready for the second season. You don't have to read the books. Go ahead and basically, watch the show. So we can basically start this dialogue. Wheel of Time. Absolutely great. Anyway. Look forward to it. Season 1, next season starts September 1st. September 1st for the next season. So the light be with you guys. That's my usual, basically, departing comment sometimes, So anyway, but that's not the end of the show. People, I have one last comment or one last topic for you guys. So, hip hop is 50 years old, yo. Hip hop is 50 years old, which is crazy because I'm 43. So I'm just like, dang, I'm almost as old as hip hop. That's crazy. Crazy. Because when I was born, I'm just thinking like, dang, back in those days, I remember my dad had, of course, he was a record guy. My brothers basically, of course, collected records, and I remember them having Curtis Blow and the Sugar Hill Gang, and of course, just listening to that. And they had EPMD and Run DMC, vinyl records, basically. And I used to sneak around and play it every here and there whenever I see things that they had, I put it on basically. But, it was, hip hop was great, but I also had other music that I was basically absorbing. So it was just like, oh, this is another genre of music. But, it didn't exactly speak to me when I was a kid. You know what I mean? It took a while before I really, really, really got into it, It was just like, I'm going to talk about when I fell in love with hip hop, guys. That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about when I fell in love with hip hop. I'm going to say, in the 90s, growing up in Brooklyn, New York, I was a fan of Tribe Called Quest here and there, you know what I'm saying? They had Check the Rhyme, of course, Check the Rhyme, y'all. Back in the days on the Boulevard of Linden. I lived like 5 blocks from Linden Boulevard. So, of course, it was basically just right there. It was great to hear things that basically referencing your life and stuff like that. And I was listening to Tribe and trying to memorize the words to Money in the Middle. And, I'm not even going to front. MC Hammer, Can't Touch This was wrecking shop everywhere. You couldn't turn on a radio station and not hear it. Hip hop around that time was here to stay and couldn't nobody say anything about it. But when did I fall in love with hip hop? For real, for real? When did I fall in love with hip hop? I'm going to say around 1992. I was about 12, going to my, private school, Catholic private school. And I finally got a chance to actually, take the bus home with my friends, after a while. And there was a corner store right there at the bus stop. And of course, they were selling bootlegs. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and go see, this corner store on, in Canarsie. Let me go see what they got. And I looked and I was just like, Wu-Tang Clan. I was like, all right, let me go ahead and pick this up. You know what I'm saying? I kind of think I heard some of this before, but I was just like, all right, let me pick this up. Protect Your Neck on one side and Method Man on the other. What's that? So I put it in, and I got it was all over after that. I played it over and over and over again in my Walkman, man. When I tell you that I let my tape rock to my tape pop, that's exactly what the hell happened. I had to bust out some clear tape with a pencil and a razor and hook that joint up and put it back together. Pencil, rewind that joint back to the back to the top, and I'll go ahead once again. And I was plugged in since then. And then Juicy came, and it was a wrap. Juicy came and it was all a wrap for me ever since then. So hip hop has definitely been a part of my life ever since then, of course. But I'm also gonna give my as you basically accumulate knowledge about hip hop and you start to get your favorite artists and stuff like that. Everybody has to have a top 10. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give you my top 10, my hip hop top 10. You know what I'm saying? This is in order. Just so you know, this is in order. And this is in order, rather, of not specifically my favorites, but these are all definitely favorites of mine. But some people, emotionally, I have a little bit, that so kind of wiggles as far as where that position sits. But some people basically are just solid where they at. So let me just go ahead and give it to you. Of course, the Notorious B.I.G., the king of New York, Frank White himself. Biggie, Big Papa. Discuss it as much as you want. Basically, to me, he's number one, will always be number one. Then, going after that, Jay-Z, of course, Hov, Slick Rick, The Ruler, Pac, of course, I would put Pac in, even though the style of rap is not specifically, of course, like, that New York style of rap is a little bit different, basically, but you can't deny his greatness and his storytelling. And, he could give you whatever style you wanted, basically. It's just the ending of his career, basically, that kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. So it is what it is. He's fallen in some spots for me when I really think about it. And so then we have Busta Rhymes. He's in there. I don't care. He's my top 5. He's in my top 5. Some people be like, what? But if you basically discounted Busta, then you have a problem. You need to really, really just go back through all of his stuff and really think about his skill level. I'm talking about skills. I'm not talking about this basically his overall sales or something like that. I'm talking about skills, people. Skills. That's what an MC is made of. Skills. Then Rakim, of course, the God. Eminem. Argue with me about it. Plain and simple. Lil Wayne. He's in there, period. Nas, of course. And in my last, but definitely not least, Lauryn Hill. She definitely is in there. A lot of people basically even forget to even put her in their top 10s or even in their rankings. Sometimes I hear people say, "Oh, Lauryn Hill's an R&B when, son? She came out as a rapper. She had two albums in a rap group, and then basically, and she was obviously the talent. You know what I'm saying? She was obviously the talent. Pras was doing I don't know what, and basically, I'm about to call him Wanye. Wyclef was making the beats. She was the main attraction. Hate it if you love it, whatever. But her lyrics, amazing. Period. All the way to Miseducation, absolutely great. Period. So fight me on it if you want. Lauryn Hill, personally, she could be my top 5 as far as my favorites. She could be. But as far as skills, I'm just going to go ahead and just basically put her there. She's in there. She's not no honorable mention. She's my top 10, period. But I do have some honorable mentions. So, Method Man. Maybe just because basically, he's one of my favorites from the beginning. I'm going to put him in there, of course. Andre 3000, absolute lyrical genius. Phife Dawg, for my tribe days. Big Boy also, you know what I'm saying? And Luda. A lot of people discount Luda also. They discount Luda and Busta. And I don't know if it's because they basically call them gimmick rappers, but take away all the music videos and quote unquote gimmicks. Pound for pound, 2 of the best rappers ever to do it. Period. Luda and Busta, put some respect on their name forever. That's all I gotta say. And then people sometimes wonder, kind of like with this whole conversation right now, what makes the greatest point guard of all times. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that basically earn you a spot on my list, and it's this prerequisites you have to have. Lyrics, you gotta have lyrics. You have to have amazing rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Basically, and smart delivery. You know what I mean? You have to be able to basically have different cadence, change up your cadence. You know what I'm saying? Ride the beat, throw off the beat. You know what I'm saying? Go change up your flow. You got to be able to do stuff like that. You got to have a great vocabulary. You know what I mean? Throw in words that basically people don't understand. And that basically was things that would make you have to pick up a dictionary like, what the hell does terminal, what the hell does that exactly mean? You know what I'm saying? MCs that make you think, make you rewind it back, make you try to memorize their words, try to basically speed it up as fast as you can. You know what I'm saying? It takes great effort to do that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to give people props for that. There's a lot of young rappers out there, and I definitely give them props. You know what I'm saying? The Kendrick Lamars and the J. Coles and the Drakes, of course, basically. Those are, to me, some of the best rappers right now. You got to give shout outs to the female rappers out there. The new female rappers, they doing what they can do, basically. But I guess shout out to the era that I grew up in, where you could have the Little Kims and Foxy Browns alongside the Queen Latifahs and Moni Loves and the Eves and the Lauryn Hills, you know what I'm saying? The MC Lights of the world, you know what I mean? Who basically are able to rap about something that's in their head also, rather than what's inside their ass. Just saying it. saying it. Celebrate the ferocity of being a woman, not just your sexuality, but also your sexuality, because that's all, it's yours. So you own it. So you can talk about it as much as you want and fuck whoever don't like it. It is what it is, plain and simple. But you know what I'm saying? That's hip hop. Hip hop is coloring outside the lines. You know what I mean? It's not a drum major beat that you basically gotta step like a robot. It's not that. That's basically, to me, it feels like that's what mumble rap is. But it has no kind of substance. So I'm glad that it basically grew up in the era that I grew up in, and it gave me real hip hop and taught me what real hip hop was. So if you are interested in finding out more about hip hop, I would like for you guys to go and find a hip hop documentary that is one of my favorite things in the world. And you can find it and put it into your rotation. I read it as much as I watch it as much as I can. It is Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix, and it's by Shad Kobenga. Yes, Shad Kobenga. I think he goes by Shadrock, but it's all good. Basically, he created this great documentary where he interviewed all the hip hop artists that he could possibly get, I guess, from the beginning. And he tells pretty much the story of hip hop from day one all the way to current times, basically, as much as possible. Of course, he's probably added on more episodes and seasons to basically cover more. But basically, we have evolved to the point that we are right now. So where he's at right now is exactly a good point for you to basically listen to from the beginning all the way to the current right now. So go ahead and give it a watch. Check it out. That's all I have for you guys today. I'm so happy that you basically came out. I hope that you stayed with me. I was trying to make this a little shorter, but it is what it is. Sometimes you basically just start talking. But anyway, please like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube. If you are viewing me or listening to me on the podcast, go ahead and give me a top rating and leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? Give me 5 stars, whatever it is, basically. Go ahead and do that. Or 4. I mean, hey, be honest with be honest with it. You know what I'm saying? But if you show me some love, damn it. Show me some love. Anyway, go ahead and follow me on CallMeNakomi at Instagram, and also at CallMeNakomi1 on X or Twitter, however you feel today. You can email me at CallMeNakomi@gmail.com. That's CallMeNakomi@gmail.com. CallMeNakomi. And this is CallMeNakomi World, y'all. I'm so happy you came. I pray that you go in peace and we grow together. Take care of one another. We only got each other. Remember that. Peace, love. I'll holla at you.